Today you're going to learn how I went through my undergraduate and graduate school without taking out any loans. Now it all started my senior year, of course, when I had no clue where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. I'm sure some of you are in that same boat, but that's not even the most important. The most important part is that I didn't like the idea of owing people any money. I didn't like the idea, obviously, of taking out student loans. I refused to do so. Now, what that did is that lit a fire under me that pushed me into finding a resource called a Texas Beyond Time loan, where it stipulated if I make a B or higher in college, I don't have to pay it back. That was my first breakthrough. Now that took me a couple months to figure out, to see where that was, how to apply to it. I mean, it took me a while to find that one, and I had help, right? I had my dad, my uncle, my mom helping me out find all these different resources and vetting them to see what would be a best fit. So that was my first real big break. So my second break actually was things that I was good at, right? I mean, that's what I recommend for you, is that you find out what is it you're good at and see if there's any money in it. So for me, it was music. Now, I didn't actually major in music, but I applied through the music program for their scholarship money. I was pretty decent at singing, so I decided to apply, and I got a partial scholarship. Now, between the music scholarship and the Texas Beyond Time loan, that pretty much funded my tuition. Now, that was just tuition, right? So, as you're listening, I'm sure you're also thinking, well, how did you do all your other expenses? And it was a trip for sure. It took me a while to figure out how to navigate that world. The first thing that I did is I actually started networking with local churches, and I found a church that would be willing to give me scholarship money, several thousands of dollars a semester, in order for me to go sing every Wednesday and Sunday. And I thought, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Now, I'm not really religious, and I'm definitely not Presbyterian, which is the church I sang for. I'm actually Jewish. So I was thinking, okay, I can start networking with even more churches. So I did that. And then in my freshman year, I was really good in the sciences, particularly chemistry. So I ended up networking with the chemistry department, and I was actually the only chemistry person, or chemistry lab assistant, that's what I received, that worked for the department that wasn't a major in that. I ended up getting money from the English department, chemistry department, and the math department. But I never actually got money from the one department I ended up graduating from, which was psychology, ironically enough. So there is so much funding out there. And during that time, I also became a national certified tutor and an academic advisor for a local community college. I really enjoyed working with people one-on-one and really discovering what kind of gets them motivated, right? I mean, studying is really not anyone's thing. No one really enjoys and loves studying and wish they could do it every day. They really want to go out and do something with it. So it was really great that I became a national certified tutor. That really helped me pay also for my junior and senior year. And it really allowed me to be able to go out and actually have some fun during my undergraduate years, and without having to think, oh man, I can't spend money. So that's really my full experience of how I went through my undergraduate school. Now, graduate school was the same way. I ended up networking with the local faculty members in order to get a fellowship that allowed me to pay for half of my program. And then I ended up actually working for the admissions office. I remember my second year, so this was my thesis year of graduate school. I walked into the admissions office and I said, hey, I'm looking for money. I found scholarship money through local government, state government, but I need just another $1,500. Here's a really interesting secret. People love to complete things. I'm telling you, if you just have like a little bit more to go, people love completing things. So I had about $1,500 more that I needed to pay for school, for graduate school, and I walked into the admissions office, told them this, and they said, oh no, we don't do any scholarships. You're a continuing student. You need to go to financial aid. So I said, okay, great. So I walked to financial aid, and I said, okay, I only need $1,500 more. I paid for all my education. I don't need any student loans. And they said, no, you need to go talk to admissions. So at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh. And that led me to going back to admissions and the director of the admissions office ended up seeing how frustrated I was, came down, talked to me. I told him my entire story of how I did my undergrad and graduate school without taking out loans, and that I just need this $1,500 so that I don't have to, dip into my savings, and I don't have to ask parents if they have it or not, and I don't have to get student loans, right? And a day later, he emailed me and said, hey, do you want a job telling your story and recruiting for our graduate program? And we'll pay you $1,500 over the next 2 months. So there lies that, anyone and everyone can get funding no matter who you are or where you come from. And I'm a great example. I didn't have great grades or anything to do it. So this led me to what I've created, which is Free Education University, and it's all about helping you fund your education. Now, that admissions job for graduate school actually led me to 5+ years of learning admissions and financial aid at the university level. So I've gathered a lot of experience over the last 10 years of doing this. And I really want to show you everything that I have. And let's start off with my full undergraduate story. You just heard a little snippet, but if you want all the details, then click the link, opt in, and I'll show you everything of how I went through my undergraduate experience without taking out any loans. Thanks for listening.